Okay, good morning once again, one and all. So, today we will understand what are the manufacturing considerations in design of machine elements. So, first of all, let us understand the selection of manufacturing method. So, how the manufacturing methods are selected. Now, what is first of all manufacturing? Manufacturing can be considered as processing the available material into the useful components. Let us take an example. Converting a mild steel sheet into a car body. So steel sheet is a material and car body is nothing but a component. So processing of available material into useful components of the product. Converting billet of a cast iron into the machine tool bed. Converting steel bar into the transmission shaft. So these are the examples which help you to understand that what is exactly the manufacturing, which is nothing but the process of available material, processing the available material into useful components of the product. Now manufacturing processes can be classified into four categories. First is casting process, second is deformation, and third is material removal process, and last one is the joining process. Now what is casting process? Now molten metals like cast iron, copper, aluminum, or non-metals like plastic are poured into mold and solidified into desired shape, right? So this process is nothing but a casting process. Let us take an example. Flywheel with rim and spokes, gearbox housing, machine tool beds and guides, etc. are some of the examples in the machine design elements which is manufactured by using a casting process, right? What is a deformation process? Now you know that metal is plastically deformed into a desired shape, right? Now, basically deformation process includes forging, then rolling, okay, extrusion, press working, etc. Let us take some example: connecting rod, I section beams, car bodies, springs, etc. These are the some examples which comes under the deformation process. The third one is material removal or the cutting process. Now, material removal or cutting process is nothing but the machining process. For example, the process which we normally do on the lathe machine, that is, a material is removed by means of sharp cutting tools. It includes turning, milling, drilling, grinding, shaping, planing, shave slipping, etc. Let us take an example: transmission shafts, keys, bolts, nuts. These are some basic design machine elements where the material removal or cutting process, that is machining process, is required. I hope it is clear too. And then the third one is the joining process. We'll also learn about the design of bolting joints, welded joints, riveting joints. So joining process includes bolting, welding and riveting. It is essential for the assembly of products, right? This joining process is an essential process for the assembly of product. So till now we have understand four manufacturing methods. The first one is the casting, second one is the forging, that is a deformation process, third one is the cutting process, is nothing but a machining process, and last one is nothing but a joining process. Now out of this available number of methods available, optimum manufacturing method is selected on basis of the four factors: material of the component, cost of the manufacture, geometric shape of the component, surface finish and tolerance is required. The material of the component is what is the available of the material, availability of the material, or the availability of the raw material, cost of the material, right? Strength, or you can say the mechanical as well as the chemical properties of material. So that all comes under the material of the component. Cost of manufactured, geometric shape of the component, surface finish and tolerance is required. Then volume of production, right? Because this volume of production will define, that is a mass production defines the cost also, right? Cost of a product. Now basic part about the syllabus is that we have to understand the design considerations for all these methods. So first of all, let us understand the design consideration for casting. Now why casting? See, the complex parts which are difficult to machine are basically made up of the casting process, right? Almost any metal, you can say any metal can be melted and cast. Most of the sand cast past are made up of cast iron, aluminum alloys, brass, etc. These are the basic, or you can say the most of the times, number of times used material for the casting. Again, we have a size parameter also. The size of the sand casting can be as small as 10 gram and as large as 200 into 103 kg. Sand castings have irregular and grainy surfaces. This is a limitation. Because of this, a machining is required if the part is moving with respect to some other part of the structure. In that case only. Okay. Again, cast components are stable. You can say rigid, strong, as compared with the machines and the forged parts. Let us now, it is very important to understand the examples also. The typical examples of cast component are machine tool beds, structures, cylinder blocks of internal combustion engine, pumps and gearbox housing. I hope you understand this. Okay. Now let us come to the actual point: design of components for casting. So what are the first design consideration for casting is always keep the stress areas of the part in the compression. So you can see this is the incorrect figure, because this particular part which is under the which is casted is under the tension, and this particular part is under the compression. So it is said that always keep the stress areas of the part in the compression. Now why? Because the cast iron has more compressive strain than it has its tensile strength, right? Cast iron has more compressive strain than its tensile strength. Hence, casting should be placed in such a way that they are subjected to compressive stress rather than the tensile stress. Okay, so this is the first design consideration. Now let us say there are some unavoidable situations where tensile strengths are unavoidable. You cannot avoid a tensile strength. Like let us say this is a situation. This is a original component. This is the first figure, that is a figure A. This figure A is the original component where you can see that the two tensile stresses are acting on this particular casted component, so it is unavoidable. So in such case we can use a clamping device. A clamping device means what? You can see this is a tie rod used over here, and secondly you can also use a bearing cap. So this use of this, you can say, a clamping devices relieves the cast iron components from the tensile stresses. So this is the case where the tensile strengths are unavoidable in case of the casting components. So this is the first and very important design consideration for casting. Second is round all the external corners. Now basically you can see that this one is the incorrect figure, this one is the correct figure. You can see that here we have rounded the corner. This one is the incorrect, this one is the correct. You can see that here we have rounded the corner. Now why we have to round all the external corners? Because it increases the endurance limit of the components, right? Now we will understand in the due course of time what is endurance limit. I have already explained you what is SUT and what is SYT. SUT is nothing but the ultimate tensile strength. Okay, we write here SUT, ultimate tensile strength. SYT is the yield strain, and the third one is the AC, which is called as the endurance limit. So SUT is basically used for brittle materials, SYT is used for the ductile materials, and similarly some components in some components the endurance limit or the failure criteria is based on the endurance limit is also very important. So basically this rounding all external corners increases the endurance limit of the components, as well as it reduces the brittle chilled edge formation. Okay, here brittle chilled edge formation means what? Here the, at this portion the component will become brittle. Component will become brittle. I will write here brittle means what? It will create a chilled edges, a small edges which will be braked, right? So this is the first point, and second one is stress concentration. STRE is stress concentration. So stress concentration is the factor which is also very important in the design of machine elements. So the stress concentration means what? At some point or some part of the particular component the stress is concentrated and which will fail under the loading condition. So the stress concentration will also reduce if you are rounding all the external corners. I hope it is clear to all of you. Second is, wherever possible the section thickness throughout should be held as uniform as compatible with overall design consideration. See, now you can see that here this is a thickness, then at this particular point there is a sudden change in the thickness. again here the thickness is different, and at this particular point there is a sudden change in the thickness. So basically what happens, if there is a sudden change in the thickness, there is an abrupt change in the thickness, or you can say the cross section. Basically here, if I highlight here, here the cross section is different, here the cross section is different, here the cross section is different, here the cross section is different. So if there is a sudden change in the cross section, what will happen? Yeah, the stress concentration will increase. Okay, so again the stress concentration will result in the failure of the particular component. So to avoid the high stress concentration, you have to, I hope you have to you have to, you can say, keep the thickness uniform as possible, right? Means what, the thickness is to be varied in such a way that the change should be gradual. The change should be gradual. I hope you have understand this. Now next is avoid the stress concentration at the, avoid the concentration of the metal at the junctions. Now you can see here, you can see this is called the shrinkage cavity, right? Now basically let us understand about the shrinkage cavity. Now basically what happens, if there is a concentration of metal at the junction, concentration of the metal means what, at this particular point, this particular point is called the junction. So if there is a concentration of metal at the junction, then even after the metal on the surface solidifies, I am repeating my statement, if this is a junction point which I have shown, this is a junction point. So if there is a concentration of metal at the junction, then even after the metal on the surface solidifies, the central portion still remains in a molten stage. This is a cast product, right? So once the complete product is, or the complete, you can say, component is casted, and after the molten metal, right, the molten metal which we are preparing for the casting purpose gets solidifies, the central portion, the central portion remains in a molten stage, and which result in a shrinkage cavity or blowhole at the center. What is this shrinkage cavity? It is also called as a blowhole created at the center, and this will create the stress concentration, right? This is also called as a stress concentration. So to avoid the concentration of the metal, there are two ways. How will you avoid this shrinkage cavity or the blowhole created at the center? There are the two ways. We'll understand these two ways. Okay, the first is to provide core opening in the waves and the ribs, right? To provide core openings, you can see at the center, instead of keeping the metal completely solidified, provide some a core hole. Okay, provide a small hole over there, right? So this is called as a providing a core opening or a core hole. And second one is staggered ribs. Okay, staggering the ribs. So this way, so whatever the process has been done over here, this is called the staggering of ribs. So staggering of the ribs and the waves will also avoid the concentration of the metal at the junction. Hope it is clear. Then oval shapes. Now you can see oval shapes holes are preferred with larger dimensions along the direction of force. Now you can see, if this is an oval shape, let us say, uh, what can I say, if there is a completely, there is no any core holes, okay, if there is no any you can say a core hole at, you can say that the center, so it will create the shrinkage cavity, right? So one of the method is that to avoid the shrinkage cavity, which I have explained here in this method. To avoid this shrinkage cavity, one of the method is, what is the one of the method, one of the method is to provide these oval shapes. Okay, but the important design considerations which you have to remember is that these oval shapes which you are providing should not be opposite to the direction of the forces acting on that particular component. You can see now, if I draw the axis over here, you can see that it is coinciding these particular forces, right? So you can say that that particular oval shape is in the direction of the forces. Okay, so these are some basic design considerations considered whenever you are designing a metal component, whenever you are designing a machine component and using a casting process. I hope you have understand this, right? Okay. Okay, now we'll move on to the next method. What is the next method? The next method is, one second. Okay, now let us understand the design considerations for machining. Now, why machining? Now, basically, machining components are widely used almost in all industrial products, right? Again, they can be as small as gear in the wrist. They can be as small as gear in the wristwatch and as large as huge turbine. So this highlights the applications. Then metal cutting operations like turning, milling, drilling, shaping, boring, reaming, right, comes under the machining, that is a metal cutting operation. And there are surface finishing operations which also comes under the machining, that is grinding and buffing. Okay, so that is why this all processes, that is a machining processes, is very important. So you have to understand the design considerations for the machining also. Now basically this machining process are made from ferrous and non-ferrous materials, right? The first is the first design consideration is avoid machining. It increases cost, hence try to avoid. So what does this statement mean? That unless and until it is must requirement, avoid machining because it will increase the cost, right? Because it is one kind of a surface finish as well as metal cutting process. Second is specify liberal tolerances. Now specify the liberal tolerances means what? Basically, closer the tolerances, higher the cost. Hence, provide liberal dimensions and tolerances. Okay, you cannot provide higher tolerances. You cannot provide a very less tolerances also. You have to be exact, or you can say liberal with your tolerances selection, right? Second is avoid sharp corners because it will result in trace concentration. So I have already explained the you can say the casting process, that you have to avoid the sharp corners, right? And normally we round all the external corners, because if you are not rounding the external corners, it will create a brittle chilled edge formation. And this means what? The edges will become a very brittle and they will break at the edges, and it will create a stress concentration. Okay, use stock dimensions. For example, stock dimensions means what? Use, let us say, use hexagonal bar for a bolt, which eliminates machining of hexagonal surface. For example, if you want to machine a bolt, hexagonal bolt, so already we have a hexagonal bar available with us, that is a manufactured in a already manufactured. So whatever the dimensions which are available in the stock, try to use that. If not possible, you have to go design rigid parts. Rigid part means what? The design should be such a that it will be rigid enough to withstand the forces like cutting forces induced due to the machining operation. So let us say, if you have designed a particular part, and let us say if you have manufactured it and now you are doing a cutting operations or a machining process, so that, for example, let us, you are doing a cutting operation, so the cutting force which will be induced under that particular loading condition, okay, it should not fail the component, it should not break the component, right? Second is avoid shoulders and undercuts. Now avoid shoulders and undercuts means what? Requires separate tools and operations and hence increase the cost.